I want to talk next about a closely related matter, and that is how, in our declining capitalism that we are now living through, there are signs everywhere of change. Just like that shutdown gave us signs of the sort I just mentioned. The different set of signs, just as important, includes action by school teachers. The strike that we talked about at an earlier program of the Los Angeles teachers has now been won. And there are strikes planned or in the planning process in Oakland, California, and a particular one that interests me in Denver, Colorado. It's spreading, and that's very important. Teachers are learning from the pioneering efforts of the teachers in West Virginia, whose representatives we had on this program some months ago, and the others in Arkansas, in Kentucky, in states, 6 or 7 of them, that were big victory states for Donald Trump. The public school teachers said, no more cutting public services, no more paying us less money than a person gets who parks cars in a movie theater lot. Give us the recognition of the importance of what we do, which is not to say that parking cars is not important, but that training the children of our society is extremely important. Recognize that, support that. Those teachers took real risks, and they discovered in all those red states enormous public support, which is what the Los Angeles teachers discovered and what is being discovered right now by the teachers in Denver. So this is an important lesson. The wind is shifting. There's a kind of waking up, as if from a long slumber, of public employees in this society. And the teachers are taking a leading position, which has happened before in history and is very important, because the teachers who are active are already models for their students, and the lesson will not be lost, and the long-term effects are profound. There was even another dimension of the struggle between the teachers and the city in Denver that is also a lesson to be learned. In Denver, the school board threatened the union that if they went on strike, the city would report the immigrant teachers to the immigration authorities. This was obviously done to intimidate, to scare, to split the teachers between those born in the United States and those with one or another immigrant status. Here's an important lesson, actually 2 lessons here. Number 1, it should remind you that employers are the ones who are very interested in immigrants. They're interested because they can often get the immigrant to work at a lower wage or salary than a native-born person. But that's not all. They're also interested in the immigrant because they have a hold on the immigrant. They can intimidate and scare the immigrant, just like the authorities in Denver did, and split them away from other workers and use them against the other workers. That's why the second important lesson is not only to understand how immigrants are used and who's responsible, but to understand that solidarity between immigrant workers and native-born American workers is very important for both of them. It is very important. And don't lose sight of the following fact as well. Threatening an immigrant in this case is threatening a person, an immigrant, who's teaching children. Not Mr. Trump's image of an immigrant who's got a crime problem or a drug problem or a disease problem. That's a hustle. That's a fakery. We're talking here about threatening a teacher who has given himself or herself the enormously important task of educating the next generation of our fellow citizens. That's who's being hurt by the scapegoating of immigrants who are not the cause and not the solution to the problems of a capitalism in decline.